There was a silence. He went, nah, it ain't only music. They're coming back again, right? Is there something up with these people?
Go on. It's
If
not
you
only
told
music.
them I'm trying to do an interview,
This is Sarah Champion backstage at the Isle of Wight Festival. You may hear the red arrows flying past. Suggs has just joined us. Welcome back to the Isle.
thank you, Sarah. And they actually did, you know, for your listeners, viewers, they just did fly past. The first time I've ever seen the red arrows. That was fantastic. Thank you for doing that.
The best bit is people thought it was a band when it was on the set list. Red Arrows. It's a good name, right?
Yeah.
So listen, this is the first big gig of the summer for a lot of people here today. Not for you, because you had your Jubilation Festival. How was that?
So it was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, we did a little bit of Christmas, but then our first big thing was we had our own festival in Brockwell Park in South London, and it was unbridled joy. You know, so fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
you know yourself, and anyone in this business, 2.5 years of doing nothing, and everyone is so up for it. I mean, I'm actually getting on with my own band, who I hate with a lust. It won't last, but at the moment, are they coming back again?
Yeah.
God.
Red Arrows, everyone.
Yeah, they got. They've run out of colours. What's it called? Smoke.
We had a chat down, and it was the absolute height of lockdown. You were on Whitstable Beach, I seem to recall, on your daily walk.
Yes.
And at that point, obviously, we didn't know when the next gig was going to be. So you're quite right. I think for us, it was the Isle of Wight Festival, September. And the energy was palpable. It was a release of all that tension of the last 2 years. So that's what Brockwell Park was like, I'm guessing.
Exactly that. You know, we played with a few of our pals, Squeeze and Supergrass and Norman, Jay, and yeah, it was just relentlessly joyful. Yeah, and I was starting to worry that how could people last like 6 or 7 hours? But they were so keen to just be in amongst other people and listening to music that it was a fantastic event. But no, you're right there in Whitstable. Yeah, I was like, my wife called it a performance Tourette. So I was singing to people at the bus stops, you know, like you see all these old grannies running away going, oh, not that bloke from Madness again, singing his stupid songs.
Like,
I was
on,
just
everyone.
desperate to perform to anybody.
This was the night back to Cairo. Who knows it?
Come on. But
That's
yeah, it's
lovely.
great to be doing it again, of course. It's great to be back. Yeah, great.
Yeah. So you were here 2019, which obviously was a big year, all the sort of 40th anniversary celebrations, and then you went from 2019 to 2020. That must have been sort of feast to famine. And now, obviously, I've just looked at your schedule. It looks like you're making up for lost time. You've got a busy summer ahead.
What's it now? It's like we've had the Red Arrows twice. What was that?
Don't know. It's all the fun of the festival.
They got Concord out now. This is brilliant.
It's Nile Rodgers arriving for his set. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, we've got a very busy schedule this summer. Yeah, it's great. And it's just weird because these things have been booked up for 2 years. Like we're going to Spain next week and then Italy. And who's this now?
It's the Red Arrows again.
Red Arrows
They just
again,
keep
they can't-
circling.
So, yes, it's great to be back doing it again and to pick up on all these things. I mean, you know, some of these gigs 2.5 years ago, I was worrying whether, you know, half of the audience would still be alive. You know, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I mean, given myself, you know. But we are still alive, which is extraordinary. And yeah, to be performing again, it really does make me realise, you know, what you take for granted. You know, and I don't. Right at this minute, it's probably the best that I get out of doing gigs I can remember, because I'm really appreciating it.
There they go again. I mean, I think, you know, for a lot of people in the crowd today, this will be their first big gig after all the lockdown. So I think that energy is going to be out there. You know, I think it's going to be a magical thing. Today, we revealed the listeners' favourite single by Madness. This is something we do each week where we play a track by a band leading up to what the favourite single is. I just wondered if you might guess what the listeners voted in the top 2.
The favourite single?
Yeah.
I imagine it would be Our House, or It Must Be Love. But if you're asking me my favourite, it's Embarrassment, which is a slightly less sort of popular track. But what is it then?
Yeah, you're right. It was Our House. Followed by The Sun and the Rain. But you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That was a close second. Well, that was going to be my follow-up question, really. That might be your favourite single. Is that the favourite one to perform live?
I mean, I love them all, you know, and we've learned over the years. We went through periods of like, I don't want to play all them old hits, and then and you get to this point where it's just like people enjoy these songs so much. How can you not get pleasure out of playing any of them? And I remember Bob Dylan saying one time when I seen him, and he could be very sort of like, you didn't know what you were going to get. Let's put it that way. Saying, well, if you don't like this song, don't worry, there'll be another one along in 3 minutes. What accent? I don't know what accent was that.
I don't know.
So I did it.
It's something
Was
close.
that
It was
Scouse?
close enough.
Was it
Close enough.
Scouse?
Something like that. Via Birmingham. I don't know what that was.
But like we've had 20, 30 odd hits, so it is like you see people digging things that happen to them when them songs they're coming back again. As I said, they're trying to just ruin my interview. Can you just tell them to pack it up now? It's great. It's really fascinating. The first 3 times.
First 3 times.
All right?
That's it.
But now it's getting a bit boring now. You're just burning up the planet and stop it, right? Yeah, you know, like that, like what pop music does and what this country has produced. I heard this great documentary on David Bowie this morning, and you just think, wow, you know, I actually lived through that geezer's career. And that, you know, the first snog you had, the first boy you met, the first cigarette, you know, these records, because they only last, don't they? What was old 45s for about a month or so. Really define moments in your life, and that's what happens when you play these songs even 40 years later. You can see all these old farts with their kids going, this is the song I met your mum to, or whatever it is that was epochful at that time.
It's exactly that. It's the soundtrack to people's lives.
Soundtrack to your lives. Because you know that I've done this song with Paul Weller. I hope you're playing it on Absolute. I think you chose it as single of the week. It's called Who Do You Think You Are? And I was talking to Paul Weller about it a little while ago, and the song we were working on wasn't going great. And I said, look, Paul, at the end it's only music, right? And then he went, there was a silence. He went, nah, it ain't only music. They're coming back again, right? Is there something up with these people?
Go on. It's
If
not
you
only
told
music.
them I'm trying to do an interview,
It's not
I
only
know
music.
you don't like me. And he said, no, Suggs, it ain't only music. It's what we just said. It's the soundtrack to our lives.
Yeah.
And it's easy to take for granted if you're in this business, but you forget how much it means to people. When I see their faces when we perform the songs that we do, it makes me realise exactly that.
Yeah, and what a special thing that is. Look, I'm going to let you go and watch a bit of the Red Arrows.
Great.
Have an amazing set. We're broadcasting it tonight, so we'll all be dancing
mate,
along with
the
you.
Red Arrows, the new indie band.
The Red Arrows, I know. You must catch them. They're on the new tents. New tent.
They're a bit noisy, isn't they? A bit loud.
Yeah, but you know. Thanks, darling.
Thank you very much indeed. Yeah.